You think your automatic car is tough enough to survive rookie mistakes? Not even close. The habits you're guilty of might look small, but they're draining your wallet with big repair bills. And here's the twist. The smart drivers who avoid the final mistake often keep their cars running smoothly for over 300,000 miles. Let's dive in. Number 8. Shifting between drive and reverse without stopping. Now, let's talk about impatient drivers. You know the type? They treat their automatic shifter like a game controller, slamming it from reverse to drive without a full stop. Here's the reality. When you do that, you're basically smashing gears together inside your transmission. And guess what? Gears aren't cheap. Every time you rush that shift, you're slamming metal on metal. And the result isn't just a little hiccup. It's a repair bill that often exceeds $3,000. Yes, $3,000 because you couldn't take an extra second to stop fully. That's not just careless, that's financially masochistic. Older cars are even worse. They engage instantly, so when you pull this stunt, the impact is harsher, faster, and deadlier for your transmission. 1 second you're backing up smoothly, the next you're feeling a gut-wrenching clunk that screams, "Congratulations, you just murdered your gearbox." Newer cars try to save you from yourself. They've got built-in safety systems that won't even let the gears engage until the car fully stops. But here's the thing. Just because the system delays the engagement doesn't mean your bad habit isn't wearing things down. Long-term damage still piles up, just slower. You'll know this problem is creeping in when you start hearing grinding noises or feel harsh jerks every time you shift. That's your transmission begging for mercy, and once it reaches that point, you're on borrowed time. And if you think that's bad, wait until you realize what damage sneaks in while you're not even moving, just parked. Number 7. Parking without the handbrake. Here's the rookie mistake. People think the little P on their shifter is some kind of magical force field that locks the car forever. It's just a tiny piece of metal inside your transmission called the parking pawl. This little guy's job is to hold your car in place, but people dump the entire weight of their SUV on it and expect it to last forever. That's like asking a paperclip to hold a bowling ball. On hills or in windy conditions, the pawl takes every ounce of pressure. Over time, cracks, chips, or complete failure aren't just possible, they're inevitable. And when it fails, your car doesn't politely stay put. Nope. It rolls, and you get to watch your pride and joy slowly glide away like it's auditioning for Titanic. Even worse, parking like this stresses your engine bushings over time. Bushings are like the silent heroes holding everything steady, and when they wear down, you get rattles, vibrations, and repairs that bleed your wallet dry. The fix? Use the handbrake. It's literally designed to take that load off the pole, spread the weight, prevent rolling accidents, and keep your transmission alive longer. If you're still too lazy to pull up a lever or press a button, maybe driving isn't for you. And don't think your fancy modern car is exempt. Automakers didn't redesign the pawl to hold the whole car, they designed it to do its one small job. Put all the weight on it, and eventually, even a brand new ride is going to suffer. Picture this nightmare. The pawl snaps. Suddenly, your car rolls freely. Safety hazard? Oh yeah, your car could smash into someone else's, or worse, someone walking by. Try explaining to your insurance company that your car just decided to take a stroll on its own. But here's the kicker. What you do before you even park can be way more damaging than what holds it in place. Number 6. Not being gentle. When stuck in snow. Let's imagine it's freezing. Your car is stuck in snow, and instead of thinking, you go full fast and furious, flooring the gas and spinning the wheels like you're auditioning for Tokyo Drift. Bad move. What you're really doing is cooking your transmission faster than a microwave dinner. The heat builds up, the fluid thins, and suddenly, your automatic car is screaming for mercy. Repeated stunts like this don't just melt the snow under your tires. They melt your wallet when that transmission bill shows up. And let's be real, nobody brags about spending thousands fixing a fried gearbox. The smarter way? Gentle rocking between reverse and drive. Yeah, not as glamorous, but it eases the stress on the system. It's like rocking a chair instead of smashing it against a wall. One lasts, the other doesn't. But here's where most people mess up. They don't use traction aids. Sand, non-clumping cat litter, or even an old carpet you don't mind sacrificing can give your tires the grip they need without grinding your transmission into dust. Think of it as giving your car snow boots instead of sending it out barefoot. And let's talk upgrades. Snow tires or traction boards aren't some extra expense. They're survival tools. If you live where winter laughs at your car every year, invest. Snow tires can shorten braking distance by up to 30% compared to all-season ones. That's the difference between stopping safely and starring in your own icy bumper car accident. Diesel drivers? You've got a special kind of pain to worry about. Aggressive spinning causes ring wash, which is when raw fuel slips into the oil. That thins out the oil and turns it into useless sludge. Imagine shampooing your hair with dish soap. It technically works, but it'll ruin you in the long run. Same deal with your engine. And here's the punchline. People don't learn until it's too late. That repeated hard revving can lead to repairs running into the thousands. Congratulations, you just spent your vacation money on a transmission rebuild. Not very Instagram-worthy, is it? But winter blunders aren't the only silent killers. You can cause serious transmission damage by doing absolutely nothing. Yep, just idling. Number 5. Idling in drive for too long. Let's talk about the universal crime of lazy drivers everywhere. Sitting in your car with the gear still in drive like it's a recliner. Look, short idle spells? Fine. But park yourself in drive for too long, and you might as well be slow roasting your transmission like a holiday turkey. That transmission fluid you think is happily doing its job? It's overheating, and fast. Even with electric fans whirring away under the hood, hot weather laughs at them. Within just a few minutes, the fluid temperature can spike by 50 degrees Fahrenheit. 50! You think your AC is struggling? Your poor transmission is sweating bullets. And here's something diesel drivers really don't want to hear. Your engines are even worse victims. During those long, pointless idles, raw fuel starts slipping past the piston rings and seeping straight into the oil. That's called ring wash, and it basically turns your oil into a cheap cocktail. Once that oil is diluted, its lubrication powers are shot, and suddenly your engine and transmission parts are grinding against each other like two drunks fighting in a bar. People always argue, but I don't want to turn the car off, restarting wastes fuel. Wrong. Restarting your engine uses less fuel than endlessly idling, and it saves your transmission from cooking itself to death. The math is simple. A quick restart versus thousands in repairs. Not a tough choice, unless you really love donating money to your mechanic. And if you need another reason to quit the idling habit, let's talk about carbon buildup. Sitting there endlessly in drive builds up carbon deposits in your fuel system, choking it slowly. You're not just wasting gas, you're paying for your car to sabotage itself. Congratulations, you've turned your daily commute into a self-destruct button. So, yes, idling endlessly in drive might feel convenient, but convenience doesn't pay for transmission rebuilds. And here's the kicker. If sitting still can do this much damage, wait until you see how fast moving water can finish the job. Number 4. Driving through deep water. People love to think their cars are submarines. They're not. Every time someone charges through a flood like it's the final lap of Mario Kart, their transmission silently cries. Why? Because transmission vents, those little pressure release holes, are usually tucked low in the car. The second water rushes in, it seeps through those vents like an uninvited guest and goes straight into your transmission fluid. And what happens next is pure disaster. That clear red fluid inside your transmission mixes with water and turns into a milky milkshake of doom. Doesn't sound so bad? That milkshake destroys clutch packs within hours. Not days, not weeks, hours. Your smooth shifting automatic is suddenly a slipping, grinding nightmare. And here's the cruel part. Draining the fluid afterward doesn't magically fix it. Once water contaminates that system, the damage is done. Slipping is inevitable, and the only fix is usually a full rebuild. Thousands of dollars because you wanted to play Aquaman with your Corolla. Now, SUVs and four-wheel drive vehicles do get a little more breathing room here. Their vents sit higher, which offers some protection. But don't get too cocky. Unless you're driving a lifted monster truck with a snorkel, water can still find its way in. And when it does, you're just as cooked as the sedan owner who thought their Civic could handle the flood downtown. Here's a fun fact. Insurance companies often laugh at claims from water damage like this because it's considered driver error. Imagine paying thousands out of pocket because you wanted to make a splash, literally. So yeah, water doesn't just rust your car. It annihilates your transmission in record time. And if that's not terrifying enough, the next mistake can cook your transmission even when you're not in a flood, just sitting at a simple red light. Number 3. Leaving the car in drive at stoplights. Here's one everyone's guilty of: sitting at a red light, foot on the brake, car still in drive, scrolling through TikTok. Seems harmless, right? Nope. What's actually happening is your torque converter is spinning its little heart out even though your car isn't moving. All that spinning builds excess heat in the transmission. On hot days, the fluid temperature can spike by another 50 degrees in just a few minutes. That's not a little warm. That's seal melting, fluid thinning, gearbox killing heat. And when seals harden from the heat, they don't magically bounce back. They crack, leak, and leave your transmission fluid bleeding out slowly. Meanwhile, that overheated fluid loses its viscosity, which means it can't lubricate properly. The end result? You're cooking your gearbox every time you wait for the light to turn green. What's the fix? Easy. Shift into neutral. Doing that reduces strain instantly and lets the fluid circulate more freely. Your car stays cool, and your transmission thanks you by not blowing up before it's time. Yet somehow, people still don't bother because it's just a short light. Well, short lights add up. Do this day after day, and you've got years of wear packed into months. Think of it like this. Do you leave your phone charger plugged in even when the battery's full, knowing it shortens its lifespan? Probably not. So why treat your transmission with less care than your phone? And don't underestimate this habit. Overheating transmissions are one of the leading causes of premature gearbox failure. A couple of seconds of laziness now can turn into thousands of dollars in repairs later. But here's the thing. While this mistake slowly boils your car alive, the next one is like ripping it apart every single time you park. Number 2. Shutting off the car before it's in park. Alright, let's talk about the move that screams rookie louder than someone trying to find the cup holder in a rental car. Shutting off your car before it's actually in park. You'd think this would be common sense, right? Cars are designed to start only in park for a reason: safety. That's not some quirky design choice. It's literally a fail-safe so your car doesn't roll down the street like it's auditioning for Fast and Furious. Neighborhood edition. But no, some people insist on killing the ignition while still in drive or neutral, as if the rules don't apply to them. Do that enough, and you're putting serious stress on the input shaft. Why? Because shutting off in the wrong gear disconnects things inside the transmission in ways they weren't meant to be disconnected. Think of it like slamming your laptop shut mid-update. Sure, it doesn't always crash instantly, but eventually, something important is going to break. And here's the kicker. Newer models are smarter than you. Most won't even let you pull the key out unless you're in park. That's not your car being annoying. That's your car saving you from yourself. But if you're rocking an older ride, oh, you're free to mess things up all by yourself. Congratulations, you've just joined the I'll Fix It Later Club, sponsored by every mechanic who loves customers like you. Over time, this lazy little habit puts strain directly on the torque converter. You know, that essential piece of engineering that transfers power between your engine and your wheels. Stress it enough, and it stops transferring smoothly. You're left with jerks, stalls, and a transmission that feels like it's having mood swings. And repairing or replacing a torque converter isn't pocket change. We're talking bills that will make you question why you didn't just spend 1 extra second sliding into park like a normal person. In rare cases, this habit goes from oops to you're stranded. Ignore park long enough, and suddenly your car refuses to restart properly. Imagine being stuck in a parking lot, key in the ignition, car dead silent, all because you couldn't be bothered to flick the shifter 1 notch higher. Doesn't exactly scream responsible driver, does it? Now, does this mistake blow your car up overnight? It's sneaky. It chips away at reliability like termites in your basement. Day by day, year by year, your car becomes less dependable, and when it finally leaves you hanging, you'll have no clue why. That's the hidden cost of rookie habits. It's not the immediate failure, it's the slow erosion that creeps up until you're shelling out thousands for mysterious transmission problems. And the worst part? All of this nonsense is self-inflicted. Nobody's forcing you to shut off and drive. Nobody's holding you hostage in neutral. It's literally a flick of the wrist, away from being done right. But hey, if ignoring park sounds fun, just remember this. The next rookie mistake makes this look like child's play because it doesn't just stress your car, it kills it faster than anything else on this list. Number 01. Running on empty. Ah yes, the classic gamble. I can definitely make it to the next gas station. But you probably can't. And even if you do, your car hates you for it. Running on empty is like forcing your car to sprint a marathon without water. Sure, it'll keep going until it collapses in the middle of traffic and leaves you explaining to the tow truck driver why you thought 3 miles to empty actually meant 30. Here's the ugly truth. Your fuel pump sits inside the tank, and it isn't just bathing in gasoline for fun. That fuel keeps it cool. Take away the gas, and your pump overheats faster than a phone left charging in the sun. Do this often enough, and your pump dies years earlier than it should. And replacing a fuel pump? That'll set you back anywhere from $500 to $1,000, not including labor. Hope you didn't need rent money. And let's not forget the sludge at the bottom of your tank. Every car has it, sediment, dirt, all the tiny particles that settle down there over years of fill-ups. Run on empty, and your pump starts sucking that junk straight into your fuel system. Filters clog, injectors choke, and suddenly your engine is coughing like it just ran a marathon with a pack of cigarettes. Congratulations, you've just turned your car into its own worst enemy. AAA even did the research to prove it. They found that drivers who make a habit of living on E are literally shaving years off their fuel pump's lifespan. That means the more you push your luck, the more you're signing up for an expensive repair that you absolutely could have avoided. But sure, keep telling yourself the light is just a suggestion. It gets worse though. Running on fumes forces your car's ECU, that fancy little brain, to scramble the air-fuel ratio. Without enough gas, it starts miscalculating, and your performance takes a hit. Your acceleration feels sluggish, your engine runs rough, and your MPG actually gets worse. So, not only are you saving nothing, you're spending more in the long run. Bravo! And here's the real kicker. Breaking down on the side of the road isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Stuck on a highway shoulder because you thought you could push it a little further isn't just embarrassing, it puts you at risk. All for what? Avoiding a 2-minute stop at the pump? At the end of the day, running on empty is the ultimate rookie mistake because it punishes you in every possible way. It trashes your pump, clogs your system, wrecks your performance, and empties your wallet. If shutting off and drive was like slowly poking holes in your car's reliability, this one is like blowing the whole thing up on purpose. Knowledge, not excuses, is what keeps cars alive. Avoid these rookie moves, and you'll save yourself from thousands in repairs, endless headaches, and the humiliation of explaining to everyone why your smart shortcut left you stranded. Because trust me, your transmission and your wallet will thank you. And that's a wrap. Don't let rookie mistakes send your car to an early grave. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, because your wallet deserves better than another mechanic's vacation fund.